Why is it that the more time you spend on something, the harder it is to quit? I've had days where I told myself I'd only game for an hour. 5 hours later, I was still going. And the next day, 8 hours. I've changed now, but back then stopping just felt so much harder than continuing. But why is that? Well, because addiction doesn't just waste your time, it uses it against you. Think about it like this. If addiction were a boss from a game, its strongest move wouldn't be some flashy one-hit KO. Instead, its strongest move would be something slower. It'd be a move that keeps you invested, that keeps you coming back. Once you've spent such a large amount of time doing the addiction in one day, you think to yourself, I've already spent so much time, might as well keep going. That's because you've already invested your time and energy into it, which makes it 10 times easier to invest into it again. But it's not just time. The same applies for other resources like money. That's why if you've spent hundreds of dollars buying cosmetics and DLCs for a game, then you're more likely to keep playing it, because you've already invested into it. Otherwise, your money would go to waste. And that's what makes addiction so dangerous. Most people think addiction is like a cycle, like you're going around in circles because you feel stuck. But that's not true. A cycle brings you back to where you started. Addiction doesn't. It takes what you've already put in, your hours, your energy, your money, and it uses that to drag you one level deeper every single time. That's not a cycle. That's a spiral. That's why the more you do it, the harder it is to stop. It's similar to the idea of death by 1,000 cuts. It's not that playing for 5 minutes or spending $5 keeps you coming back, but it's doing that over and over again. Every 5 minutes is a cut that adds up. And when there's 1,000 or even 100 cuts, that's what pulls you in deeper into the spiral. So with this death spiral now in mind, how do you go about combating it? Well, first things first, you got to be able to know it's happening before you counter it. Just like a boss charging up its strongest attack in a game, you can usually tell when it's about to happen, or is starting to happen. How so? Well, when your consumption of the addiction suddenly increases above the average, you know you're investing more into it now, which means you want to invest more into it later. That's how the spiral pulls you in further. So let's say it's 9 AM and you've already been doing the addiction for 2 hours. What do? How do you break out before it pulls you in deeper? Well, you gotta reverse the spiral. That means not doing anything that involves just sitting there and consuming content. It actually means you should be doing the opposite of consumption. Instead of consuming, go create something. Literally, go create anything. Art, music, write something, heck, even sports counts as creating in this context, because you're not just sitting there and absorbing stuff. You're doing, you're moving, you're using your energy instead of hoarding it. That's not only how you stop yourself from falling deeper into the spiral, but it's how you get out of it. But it's not like this happens over one day. The real danger isn't doing it once, it's doing it twice. Back-to-back days is how the spiral gains speed. Because if you indulge in your addiction for 2 days in a row, then day 3 becomes inevitable. That's what I call the momentum rule. You want to stop the spiral before it picks up momentum and drags you down deeper. So simply never do your addiction twice in a row. It's fine if every second day you do it, but never twice in a row. With all this, you're set to counter your addiction's strongest attack. For your quest, all I want you to do is decide on what that creative something is for you. When the spiral starts to drag you down, what are you going to do? Keep your sword sharp. Bye-bye.